Hey guys, welcome to the review. My name is Primal, and today I'm going to be talking about the newest show for Netflix, which is called Wu Assassin. Was really curious about it. Saw a lot of martial arts in the trailer, which I'll put in the descriptions below, so you have an idea what it is, and you could take a look at it if you have Netflix and see what it's all about, and then give you a little idea of who's in the show and things of that sort. So first, Wu Assassin. So Wu Assassin is basically based in modern time, and basically is a magical man, I guess you could say, or person that was imbued with powers from almost 1,000 years ago or something of that sort. In each of those, in that time frame back in 1,000 years, it was a magic power that 5 emperors had powers of the nature. You had earth, you had water, you had wood, fire, and metal. So those 5 represented the type of elements, and they had these powers that were able to defeat any army in person. So 1,000 monks came together and sacrificed, I guess, their bodies, their essence, their power themselves into forming one person that had the strength and ability to take on the Wu. And so the Wu Assassin basically was formed that frame. And those monks actually protected the Wu Assassin from being identified, and their families being, being targeted based on how he or she at the time frame had. So in the beginning, you see a young woman. They explain this towards sometimes in the middle of the story, where the first assassin is a woman who was able to capture all the Wus from that time frame. When she got the Wu from those emperors and finally killed them, because that's the only way to do it apparently, she sacrificed her own power to hold them together and to seal those powers away. Now, towards the show, in the middle of the show, you find out that this person died and the powers got released throughout the world. And from there takes the premise of where the assassin is always kind of like reincarnated type of thing, pure of heart. It takes the power of the Wu and finds these Wu assassins. So that's pretty much the gist of the story of the show. Now, in this particular case, you start off with this guy who is basically a chef. That's what he loves. That's what he likes doing. He's apparently amazing doing the chef. And the guy who plays that chef, his name is Iko. Forgive me, I don't know how to say his last name, and I'll probably butcher it. But he is actually a martial artist himself. He's done several movies, and when I was researching about him, I came across that he was in a new movie with Mark Wahlberg. It's called Mile 22, and he actually was in Star Wars, Episode 7. So if you haven't seen my trailer on Star Wars, or Mandalorian I should say, then take a look. But he was actually in there, and he's actually done a really great job in the sense of how he performs in the story with the whole series, and the fighting scenes was spectacular. And he's basically, what I've read, he's also compared to as the kind of like Jackie Chan, because he likes to do his own stunts type of thing. So that's kind of a cool kind of a comparison, to be compared to Jackie Chan, who is a well-known martial artist and also a well-known actor and is a fantastic person. So that's one person that's also in there. And he actually grew up with some of his friends, closest friends. He had 3 other friends that were also kind of like outsiders in the community of Chinatown in San Francisco. And one of the actresses that plays her, plays one of those friends. Her name is Lee Jun Lee, and forgive me if I say it incorrectly again. But she's actually one actress or actor I've seen in several other shows, and she started in, or not started, but she was also in Quantico, if you watch that series, and also Blind Spot. So she has done a really great job in those type of roles, and she definitely played one of those badass people in those shows, and she continued to be that during the show here. Another person that's part of that group is his name is Lawrence Cow, and he plays Tommy, which his sister is Jenny, which is Lee. I'm sorry, and so Lawrence actually was in the originals, and also he's, I guess, starring in Purge, the TV show, which I haven't finished watching, but apparently he's on there too. So that's kind of cool that he's starting to be a well-developed character or actor in the movie industry. So the next person out of the 4 people in that group, which are these people are throughout the series together and fighting together because they trust one another, is Lewis Tan. And Lewis Tan is actually someone I've seen actually in Deadpool 2, if you've seen that movie. That was he was actually Shatterstar, and he also played in Into the Badlands. So those 2 movies are very heavily into martial arts and fighting, things of that sort, and he definitely displayed that throughout the series. So that was a really cool way to have him included into the role. Then you also have another woman by the name of Catherine Winnick. I don't know much about her. All I know is that she played a character inside I think the History Channel's Vikings. She played the entire series in that, and also was in 50 First Dates. Don't know much about her, but she did a really great job. And then the villains of the show were 2 that I was really surprised. One particularly his name is Tommy Flanagan. Tommy Flanagan, if you don't know who he is, he has done a great job either playing a villain, a hero, or an in-between. And he was in Braveheart, he was in Gladiator, he was in Sons of Anarchy. Great movies, great shows. I was really surprised that he was in this show, and you get to find out a little bit more about him. Another person that was a villain in this but then became a hero, so it was kind of like a roles reversed, because Tommy Flanagan was actually a hero in the beginning of the story and then becomes a villain at the end, and we'll go into it in a second. And then the other person, his name is Uncle Six, and Uncle Six was played by Byron Mann, and he's actually played some other shows, or I should say movies. One show was in Netflix, which is the Alternator Carbon, I think it's called, and Skyscrapers with The Rock. So he was actually in those shows and movies, and he did a really great job on this. And as a hero, he was not a bad person. I think he did display it a little bit well, more educated type of character. So that was actually really cool. And then the one person I was tremendously surprised about to see that he was in this show in the first place, his name was Mark DeCantos, and I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. But if you haven't seen John Wick 3, he's in that movie, kicks ass in it. In The Crow, he did a TV show long ago. Many people don't know about it, but I used to watch him on that show. And he also played a villain in Hawaiian Five-0. So that was actually really cool to see that he was a part of this, I guess, project. And he's done an amazing job. But those are the people that really have been in the show, and those are kind of the main characters that you see throughout the series. And in some ways, either become a badass person or kind of like a weak little bitch type of thing, or who knows. Thank you guys for joining my channel. Please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for the latest content that I'll have available soon. Thanks again, guys, and have a wonderful day.